Apologies for that. We have lost connection. That is Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary's bail application, both saying that they are not flight risks, that they are permanent residents in South Africa, and that they have no reason to abscond. We'll go back to the connection as soon as we get it up again. But let's continue this conversation around this court case with self-proclaimed prophet Mboro joining us in studio. So you, of course, came out and spoke about the arrest of Shepherd Bushiri and his wife. And I'm going to quote you as saying that you had to terminate certain powers in spirit to create an atmosphere that would make it possible for Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary to be arrested. What do you mean by that?
Well, this is a spiritual issue because you can't have one person, so many cases, alleging rape, fraud, theft, money laundering, killing of people. A person will go out on TV himself and made it clear that he kills people. Even his people, when they speak here, they speak of all that. So as a spiritual person, I had to get into a spiritual battle after warnings with him, after engagements, for these things to stop. Because you must bear in mind, people came to me showing proof how they were robbed and how all these things were done. Later, we discovered that old people in our own church also came up with evidence. So every day, everywhere. So I had to do that and other things. And there are other cases. Actually, should he get bail, there are other arrests that will take place because we have to stand for Christ, we have to stand for God and represent Christ and represent him well.
So obviously those are all allegations. Nobody can say that's the truth or the gospel truth at that. But one of the things that we've seen play out in the public is you and Shepherd Bushiri clearly have beef. So why would anyone believe what you're saying, these allegations against him?
Anyway, whoever says that is a liar. Look at the facts that are there. The first people who came, we had to pray because people are told you touch him by mistake, you die by correction. If you touch the anointed man of God, God will punish you, God will do it. So this gives him power because he's a prophet. He can abuse anyone. Anyone who will, even the people who are going there, they are scared. And there's a spirit that is holding them and they believe that they are working for God. Until we started to pray and break that fear, people are coming out. And for me, it's not just allegations. There are bank statements, there are receipts, there are videos where he speaks himself. There is 100% proof that he is doing all these crimes in the name of Christ. My problem is, as I'm a prophet, and he's a prophet and everybody is, the name of Christ is now insulted. Christianity has become a mockery. So we need to stand up and show people what is Christ all about. These people came to me, and I had to stand up and address these issues. Even CRL never addressed these issues. I had to go to them. We are meeting with them on Monday to bring proof that they are also captured in the whole thing. So I will not just speak. I have facts. And there are this, and there are more people coming up, even the ones that regarding the church, where he collected money and promised them a church. From there, he said they still 500 million to raise the church. The money is still in their pockets. So it's going deeper and deeper in people's pockets. And now those people have complained and have come to me with proof. So all these things, I have to stand for Christ. It's not personal. Our personal is separate. We still have where the fake Facebook's accounts that are destroying my image and all that. So that is separate. We still have that. But before I start on that, I had to address, people are starting to come in numbers with this.
It's kind of rich coming from you, though, right? Because you also face similar allegations about questionable religious practices. That's why you were hauled in front of the CRL Commission.
Give me the facts and give me the proof and state what.
So
give me that.
No. So initially, you apparently went to heaven and took pics and all of that, and then you claimed this was Bushiri, a smear campaign, right? A smear campaign on Bushiri's part. Then you went to hell and fought Satan. So all of these things that we see in the public, on Facebook, as you mentioned as well, you say all of that is nonsense, and these are just smear campaigns against you.
He confessed, and he apologized. It was on, what is this? It used to be Times. They would say, what time is it in SABC? He came, he spoke. We had peace talks because he wanted me to cover him. And if you are a big brother, the baby brother is doing wrong, and he says, no, help me, I want to change, you will definitely bail him out. Yeah. But if the person keeps on doing the same thing and he blocks you, he doesn't want to change, you have to say, you know what, I'm no more covering for you. Because at the end of the day, we are representing Christ. And people, when we are gone, they will never believe in Christ. So here it's those things are created by his group. And he apologized for it. He says he fired them. Later we discovered that no, he fired them for their own things. Later they came and brought proof and said, no, no, no. So all those... So
you didn't charge people 5,000 rand to get a picture of you in heaven? Well,
during that time I was in our church. The Pakistans were shooting the young kids in school. The young kids were burning their shops. So I brought unity, and we had 300 of all those foreign nationals who were having that, making peace in that time. So actually I was doing something good with another MP, Ngubendaba. So when all this thing came out, there's not even a single evidence, there is not even a single picture. CRL, they pushed that because that time they were under him. Even now, they are not saying anything. That's why we're taking them to task on Monday with all the proof and all that.
But you took the CRL to court and then you withdrew.
We took CRL to court. That one, I arrived late because I had health issues. And when I brought in the letter, and then it was already late, and judgment was taken. We did the rescission. The magistrate said, oh, no, you misinterpreted. We never interdicted you from going to CRL. If you have anything wrong that you complain about Togo Aluva, you can go to CRL. So the courts, because these people have got some powers, they've been denying us that printout. Now, So they have powers to block things from happening? No, so let me explain what I'm saying. When you apply for a section, whatever, I forgot, that institution, you are supposed, you are entitled to transcripts, and so that you can defend. They did not do that. It's not spiritual powers that I'm referring to. So, but I used what the magistrate said. So I said, I will approach the RL Commission and tell them that they still need to apologize to me. They still need to reverse all those other things. They need to treat all pastors and all religions the same. They must come out of this capture of Bushiri. So, yeah, that's it.
So, you know, for many people who are watching at home, they would question your ability to terminate powers of spirits to allow him to be arrested, because if that was the case, then this power could be used for so many people not to end up in jail.
You don't know. There's a lot you don't know. You know, there are people that we know in the townships all over. They do serious crimes. And sometimes the magistrate will not see certain things, the police will not see certain things, and they will come out. And the main thing is this spell that has hypnotized the people. After we had to deal with it, that fear, people are able to come. These are the people from his church, before our church. These are even pastors, doctors. Some lost their minds. People are losing their cars, their houses, because of this. So they are able now to come forward and open the cases, and cases are open.
So this,
that was not
this
possible.
spell, because we see some ridiculous things happening in churches, right? We see people eating snakes, we see people falling, being sprayed with doom. Those are ridiculous things, right? So this spell can also protect those churches from being caught out and action being taken against them. Is that why we're not seeing action being taken against these questionable religious practices?
South Africa has been hijacked spiritually. And this... all the spirits There's no way you can have someone, you lose everything, you're not saying anything. There's no way someone can make you eat snakes and eat cockroaches and all that. Some, they even have sex with them. When there's a woman.
I don't want details on that.
You know,
fine.
no, I'm not detailed. When she woke up, she was wet, everything. You know, this other false prophet, we are coming after him as well. And then everything is
I
they
don't
don't
need
know what
details.
happened.
I honestly don't need
So,
details
all right.
on that.
So all I'm saying
false
is
prophets is the problem. That's what I'm talking about.
All I'm saying is that there are spiritual forces that are taking over people's minds. And it needs the spiritual people who are senior in the spirit, who are gifted in the spirit, who knows these things, to stand together and call on the real God. Because if you can look, only the people who are inside the churches fall into this. Those who are outside, like you, I don't think you can do those things, because
that's why I would say it's absolute rubbish.
You are not hypnotic. You don't have that
like
spirit.
Nonsense to me.
But to them, it is, wow, they can kill for it. So once we break those...
But aren't your congregants doing the same thing? I mean, at a point there were reports that you asked them for money to pay for your legal costs.
Our church is not doing the same thing. Let me help you here. I'm the only prophet who donated 23 houses in this country, rebuilt hostels in this country, gave more than 30 million, gave all his wealth away and started from A. So now it's a two-way. I've been doing things to teach people that they must do the same. But what people are doing, they say go on. And then you end up being dry financially. So all these legal battles, I have to pay, like on the second we are going to court, for the legal. I ended up saying, you know what? So also into what I do, because you need it. Yeah. I have a family. Let's help each other. If I give everything, I'm teaching you to do the same.
So if you're talking about everything you do, why have you not given the CRL Commission your financials?
All the churches in South Africa, they didn't do that. So on TV, I was the only one challenged. So I have rights.
Because you had questionable practices, they said.
What are those practices? Bring them on. I would like everyone who has anything, bring it on the table and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I ended up being a laughing stock to say, he doesn't have a private jet, this fool prophet. He gives everything away. You know, we are the only ones. We buried more than 200 people who had nobody. Some are not even South Africans. The things I have done for this country is because I learned from Christ. Money, all this, they don't make you. You make them. So all I'm saying is that if there's any criminal activity... Okay, I was also blamed for blessing a goat. Sangomas came, they were sick, I prayed for them. They said, donate us a coat. I said, fine, I'll donate you a coat. I'll pray for it in the Spirit of God, that God will change your life. Then they start to say, no. Why does he associate with Sangomas?
Yeah.
They are people. So I welcome everybody, I embrace everybody, but it doesn't mean to say I am part of what they do.
You know, Pastor Mboro, I wish I could believe everything you're saying. It sounds ridiculous to me. It all sounds like
bring the proof, the
smoke
facts.
And mirrors.
Bring the facts and the proof.
Yeah.
You can't. So
no, it's just very weird. Man. Yeah, you're a free man, but we have a right to question everything you've been saying and doing, right?
In my church, I called everybody, you know.
Do you heal people from sicknesses?
I don't heal people, God does. We have incredible... You know Mama Joy of Orlando Pirates?
But there are other pastors and groups in South Africa who question and say that what you're doing is not possible.
Because what is impossible with man is possible. Mama Joy of Orlando Pirates,
yes.
She called, she was on mask. I prayed over the phone, time and all that, Sunday. I said by Wednesday she'll be out. And she took the oxygen immediately. It was all over. Bishop Makamo, he's a bishop, he's preaching. He was dying, giving up. I prayed for him on the phone, and I did #GetWellMakama. So I brought healing to the prophet through the word of God. And I pray for everybody.
And do people pay for your prayer, though?
No,
That's
they don't.
The question.
They don't.
They don't?
They don't.
Tithes?
We teach tithes, not everybody tithes. Unfortunately, in our church, not many people don't tithe. And I don't teach it over and over. I just put it in passing, because... it must come from your heart. Unfortunately, they don't do it. Because I don't have a spirit to to make them do it.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I'm a skeptic. I'll always be a skeptic of
Bring
you
the
and
proof.
other pastors. Thank you for your time, though. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Self-proclaimed prophet, and I say self-proclaimed prophet, Mboro Motswaneng. What are you forgiving me for?
No, you can't say I'm self-proclaimed.
No, I don't need forgiveness for anything.
You're judging me.
No, I don't need forgiveness for anything.
No, you're judging me.
No.
I love you
Thank
too.
you for your time. We're going to take a break. We'll go back to that court case on the right of your screen. That, of course, Prophet Bushiri and his wife applying for bail. That after this. Stay with us.